Hello everyone, Teacher Kurt here with you again. Today we have a new survival skills video for you. Now, as we've discussed before, if you're alone in the wilderness, the ability to make fire can save your life. So, today we're going to make a tool that humans have utilized in fire starting for centuries. So let's get started and explore how to make char cloth. Fire can do so much to help us in a survival situation. It can provide our bodies with warmth in cold weather, dry our wet clothes, purify dirty water to make it drinkable, and even help us make other tools. Unfortunately, it isn't always easy to start a fire. Rain and humidity can make it almost impossible to gather dry tinder. Tinder is the small stuff we use to get a flame going when we want to start a fire. Now, normally, leaves and tree bark make for great tinder, but when they're wet, they're not very useful. That's why it's a good idea to bring our own tinder into the wilderness with us if we're planning to go hiking or camping. If you get lost or hurt and you can't make your way back to civilization, it could save your life. Char cloth is probably the best tinder material available, and is surprisingly easy to make. As the name implies, char cloth is a lot like charcoal, the stuff many people use in a barbecue grill. And we can make it with many different materials, including cotton balls, dried moss, or even a tampon. But today, we'll be using standard cloth. The great thing about this stuff is that it's very lightweight and it will burn very easily. We can keep it in a plastic bag in our backpack and pull it out in an emergency. If char cloth catches even a single spark, it will smolder for quite some time, which should allow us to burn other tinder, even if that tinder is a little wet. Now, if you're going to make your own char cloth, be sure to use organic fabrics like cotton or wool. As synthetic fabrics like polyester, they won't char, they'll just melt. Now, I've prepared a piece of an old cotton t-shirt here. To turn it into char cloth, all I need is a small, empty metal tin, like a box of mints, and a fire. And since we can't make a campfire indoors, you could also use a stove, which is what I'll be doing today. To make the char cloth, we'll simply place the fabric into the metal tin, poke a hole in the top, and heat it. Well, the process that turns normal cotton fabric into char cloth is called pyrolysis. Basically, it means that we're burning the fabric without oxygen. As the metal tin heats, eventually we'll see some smoke coming from the hole in the top. This smoke is known as wood gas, and it is flammable. Now, if you're doing this indoors like me, you can use a lighter to ignite the wood gas, which will prevent your kitchen from being filled with smoke. Now, once the flame disappears or the smoke stops, you'll know that your char cloth is ready. But be careful removing that tin from the heat source, because it is definitely hot enough to burn your hands. I'll allow it some time to cool down before we check. Well, it looks like our char cloth turned out pretty well. Let's test it out and see how it would work out in the wild. Now, I have a lighter here, but unfortunately, it's out of fuel. If this is all you had in a survival situation, the chances of making fire would be pretty slim. However, since we have the char cloth, even an empty lighter should be enough. All we really need is a spark from the flint to ignite the cloth. Let's try it and see. As you can see, the char cloth works really well. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make it and that you learned a new skill. Please remember to click like and share. This is Teacher Kurt reminding you to stay warm out there. See you next time. Bye-bye.